Hey, this is With Heart and Soul Podcast here with Jacky and David. Today we have a special guest, Evie. Thank you, Evie, for joining us.
Of course, of course.
Yes, Evie is Jacky's best friend, and we're so excited to have her. We're
Wait,
what?
I'm your best friend.
Is this news? Is this right? Is this
highlight?
You clearly didn't listen to the episode with your brother on it, because he said that you were my best friend on there as well.
Oh,
He did.
He's so cute.
He did.
Okay,
he did.
You may proceed.
Okay. I'm glad. Yeah, so Evie, thank you for joining us. Jacky invited you to our podcast. We're so excited for you to join us, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a really fun episode. So Jacky, I'll go ahead and let you go ahead and take it away as you give a bigger introduction to your best friend. So
Okay, I don't really have like anything rehearsed, so we're kind of like winging it. But we're not gonna do our little small talk that we normally do, because we got some feedback that it wasn't being enjoyed. So we're gonna try to just jump right into it. So we have a guest here today, and we're gonna try to make this episode all about her. And I just really want you guys to see who Evie is as a person, and help her share her wisdom with you guys. So we're gonna ask her some questions, and hopefully she's not too nervous. We both already don't know how to act, so excuse us. But yeah, so Evie, I guess we can start the same way I started the episode with your brother. How did we meet?
We met at Liberty Mutual as temps, and you were about 6 months pregnant with Mason, right? Am I right?
No. That's a little bit too far, but I actually vividly remember meeting you. Like
you were pregnant when you came.
No, I was pregnant, but I was like 13 weeks. So what is that? Like 3 months?
Really?
Yeah, like I was like early on.
Oh, I thought you were already like 4 or 5 months pregnant or something.
Yeah, no, it's like, did she eat too many cheeseburgers, or is she pregnant? Like it was like that.
Wow.
So
but yes, go ahead.
Yes. So we met at Liberty as temps, and I remember you being pregnant, and I thought it was so cute. I was like, wow, she's a mom, and I always wanted to be a mom, but I was never going to be a mom, and I was just having my fun. Mm-hmm. And you were the only other Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So I thought you were cute by how you dressed, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be friends with her, definitely. So yeah.
It's like this human, I pick her. From my memory, I remember it was 3 of us. It was me, you, and Jill, who started on the same day, and they were like giving us a little tour. And I remember obviously seeing you there, and you had gold eyeshadow on, and you had like a blouse with like flowers and probably Oxfords on, because you always wore Oxfords. And I went and sat in the lunchroom, and you sat across from me and just started talking to me. So that's how we became friends, because I don't make friends, people talk to me, so I'm too shy. So yeah, that's how we became friends. Do you remember that?
I do. And it's so funny. This is why I like her so much, because she remembers these little fine details that like nobody, does this shit. Like, it's crazy to me. And it's so funny, because when we fell off of being friends for years, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, I would remember certain things about him, because I like that about Jacky so much that I kind of like took that on and try to remember certain things. So when I first met my boyfriend, I would sit there and be like, oh, you remember this outfit? And he'd be like, no. I'm like, well, we wore this day, blah, blah, blah. And I would always think about Jacky in the back of my mind. I'm like, Jacky would remember this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that we mentioned that you are my ex's sister, right? But that's not how we met, obviously.
No.
As we just said, that is not how we met. So you introduced me to your brother when I was getting divorced from my ex-husband. And you already mentioned you're not going to share your opinion about how you felt about our relationship, so that's fine. But what
I'll share. I mean, like,
you can.
I liked your relationship. At one point, I was kind of envious, and I think it was just because we had both gone through breakups, and it was just like, every time I saw you guys together having fun, I'm like, damn, I don't even have my best friend anymore. Like, what the hell? She's all in the room having fun, lovey-dovey, kissing, and all this fun shit. And I'm over here like watching TV in the living room while she's in the other room having fun. I'm like, great, I have no best friend no more.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that you felt that way, but looking back, I'm like, she probably did. Like, you did lose me to him, because whenever I was at your house or whenever I had free time, I was hanging out with him, and it wasn't with you anymore. But the one night when we went out for St. Patty's Day, you were like, you're going out with me and my brother's not invited. And then he
that sounds like me.
And then he tried to like tell you that he was going, and you were like, you're not going. It's just me and her. It's a girls' night. So it was just me and you that night. And that was the night that I found all the stuff in his phone. But that has nothing to do with that. That was just like, I guess that was a sign for me that you were missing our friendship.
Yeah.
But,
I do have a question though. So I was like, so of course you guys met at the temp. You guys were both temps. You were working at Liberty Mutual, and you guys thought you were cool. So what was the transition from like, okay, this is a cool coworker to, oh, let's go hang out outside of work? Like, what? Who initiated that?
She left on what's it called?
Maternity leave.
I never had to go through that, so I forget what it's called, what the term is. But yeah, she left on maternity leave, and I missed my friend. And I'm like, it was very weird because with Jacky, I know how she is. She gets nervous with things just like I do. I'm just more outgoing. So even when I'm nervous, I like to throw jokes left and right. Like I'm trying to not be nervous, and I'm trying to show that I'm not nervous. But I know like she likes her space, and I was kind of scared to even ask if I could go see her, but I just missed her so much. I wanted to see her. I wanted to see the baby. I wanted to make sure she was good. And I think that's where it kind of started, where we were hanging out outside of work.
That is the first time you ever came over, but we were developing a pretty good friendship at work. But then your mom was moving out of her house that was in her marriage. So she was moving, and she was like, y'all ain't coming with me, so I'm going to find you an apartment. So she found an apartment for you and your brother. And I was like, oh my God, tell me all about it. And you're like, well, it's at this complex. I don't know what it's called. And then when you said it, I was like, I live there. We're going to be neighbors. And I was like, that's it. You're stuck with me. Like, we're going to be neighbors. So we were neighbors already at that time when I had my son. So it was just a little walk.
Literally one building away. Like our buildings were attached. It was just right next door.
Yeah. And that was trouble. And then we were attached by the hips. So I had my maternity leave, and then they had me come back to the job. And we just continued to be friends after that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So Evie, I did have a question for you. So like, since you're more outgoing in a sense, I mean, of course you say you're a little bit nervous, you're more outgoing. So like when you guys hung out, were you like always the person that would like be like, oh, let's go dance, or let's go do this or do that? Okay.
Took her ass everywhere. If I went to stupid little clubs like H2O, this hookah lounge, I took her ass with me. I'm like, let's go. And she's like, what? She's so humble. She's so like quiet. She's so, what's that, introvert? You're an introvert and I'm the extrovert. So she's like the total opposite of me. And I'm just like, girl, you need to let loose. So it didn't matter if we were drinking, doing other shit, but I took her with me every time, and I would take her to the dance floor with me. And yeah, I'm always that person. Like I am shy, and I am an introvert in some ways, but I'm more of the extrovert, definitely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you have another question before I
No, go ahead.
Okay. I don't really know what I was gonna say. Oh, our friendship got me through some of the hardest times of my life. Like I was in an abusive relationship, and you were someone that I could talk to all the time. I saw you every single day at work, and we talked all the time. Like you knew everything, but probably not everything, because I don't think that I shared certain things, because I think that I knew that some of my friends would be like, "That's not okay. You need to get out." So I don't think I shared everything to its extent, but I was still able to talk to you, and like you started to hang out with me. And I never really had a friend that gave me like their time of day and was like, oh, let's hang out. It's like you were constantly inviting me out. And I had so many girls' night out like during that relationship. And I feel like that helped me survive. Like I was getting out of the house. So that was really nice.
Yeah, it's tough talking about those times, honestly. Like I still get choked up about it. But yeah, I needed an escape, and she was such a good friend that I only wanted to have an escape with good people. Like I've always wanted good people around, and I had so many horrible people in my life that it's just, when you feel something right, like being with her, it always felt right. So, yeah, having her around, little did she know, helped me a lot, because I too went through my shit before she went through her shit bad, like when it hit rock bottom for her. So it was just like, it kind of like she was there for me. And then, of course, I was going to return the favor. I wasn't going to, just abandon her. I know what it felt like. I just went through it. And within months, it felt like her whole world fell apart too. So, yeah, I'm glad I spent that time with you, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God, I'm cold. Like I have goosebumps. It's interesting that both of our lives like literally went crashing down within the matter of months, like yours first and then mine. But whenever everything happened to you, I did feel like a lot of feelings, like I was confused and stuff like that. But I was like, I'm not gonna leave her side. I'm not, because I know you. Like I know who you are, and I'm just like, I'm not, like I don't care who says what or who's upset about this. I'm gonna stay by her side. And you definitely did do the same for me. Like then my life came crashing down, and you were literally the only person that was there. So it doesn't make any sense why our friendship ended when we were just such good friends.
I was just so mad. I was mad.
Wait, so hold on. So break it down. So okay, this like
I
me listening.
Ended our friendship. I ended our friendship.
Okay. Because I'm listening. I'm like, this sounds like a perfect relationship. Like you guys are good friends. You guys are helping each other, going through.
We're soulmates. We are soulmates.
I think so.
And it's like, and then when I actually talked to Jacky about it, she's like, yeah, I haven't talked to her in a couple of years and stuff like that. I was like, well, what happened? So this is a perfect segue to what you're about to say, Evie, is like, well, so what did happen? What happened?
I was the boyfriend. I was the boyfriend. I said, girl, you dumped. No, but honestly, I was so angry with life. And I've already told her this. I was just so angry with life, and I just felt like certain things were being handled differently, and I felt like at one point we started disconnecting once I moved from one position to another. So I had gotten promoted, and she didn't feel comfortable trying to get promoted to this position that was available. So when I got promoted, we stopped having our lunch dates. We had our lunch dates faithfully every day. And we stopped having that. And then she started hanging out with a group of friends that I did not feel okay with. I didn't like these people. Not that I didn't like them, because I didn't really know them, but I didn't care to know them. And I didn't feel good about them. And when I get like that, if I don't feel good about somebody, I don't want them around me, and I don't want them knowing anything about me. So the fact that I was so close to her and she knew everything about me, that's when I started closing myself. And I was just like, you know everything about me. I don't want them knowing anything. And I just didn't feel secure. But because of everything that I had just gone through, like my whole life just got tore up in pieces. I don't want that shit happening again. And I shut down. And then when things weren't working out with her and my brother, that was just another thing on top of it. And I was just like, yeah, I think I'm just done. And I was just so mean to her at the end that one little thing that she said triggered that. That's it. I'm done. And I cut all ties. I just stopped communicating with her. I stopped reaching out to her, which was so ill of me as a friend and as a best friend, honestly. And I've already apologized to her, but I will apologize to you publicly. I really am truly sorry. Because that's not what a friend does. That's really not. And I was just so cold-hearted and so angry with so much and not knowing how to like get through certain things. That was just one little hurdle that I just didn't care to get through, you know? So yeah, it was me, man. Just fucking cold-hearted bee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I think that like looking back, I think we just weren't open enough with each other. Like I completely trusted you to tell you everything, but I did not trust you and I didn't want to be with your brother anymore. Like when it came to that point, that's when friendship and you being his sister was clashing for me. And you even told me, like, why didn't you tell me you were thinking about breaking up with him? And I'm just like, in my head, like, obviously you're going to tell him, like, this is your brother. Like, I take no offense to that your brother comes first to you than me. But obviously you would have to tell him. You can't let me like smack him out of nowhere with it. Like, you have to tell him. So I couldn't come to you about that. And I had been thinking about it for so long. So there was a part of my internal life that I couldn't open up to you about because I can't tell you that I'm thinking about breaking up with your brother. Like, it's just, the line is blurred. But then with you and everything that was going on with you, you weren't being fully open with me. Like, you, at that point, your world was so dark that you were not trusting anybody. So we were not being fully open with each other.
No, we really just lost connection, in all honesty. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And the craziest thing is, the entire time she was thinking about breaking up with my brother, I was trying to sabotage their relationship. She had no idea.
Really? Yes. Like, what were you doing? Like, what?
Because I knew without her telling me, because I know Jackie, I knew. And I'm like, this isn't going the way it should. I know there's something that's not okay. Like, so I kept trying to sabotage the relationship by telling my brother, like, hey, Jackie's not the one for you. You should go figure something out with someone else. And she had no idea. My brother's like, no, I don't know. Maybe she's just having her moments. And I'm like, no, nigga, I'm telling you right now. No. Like, just cut it out. Like, cut. Yeah, it was bad. I was bad. I was just bad.
So Jackie, like, my question for you is like, what was going on with you from your side? I know you didn't know about her saying all this stuff to her brother, but like once Evie started like distancing herself a little bit and all this different stuff, was it like mutual? Like, you're like, okay, well, she's not talking to me anymore. It is what it is. Or was it like, dang, I'm really hurt. Like, why? Maybe I should reach out to her, or what happened? Like, what was going through your mind through all of that?
I was really hurt. Like, I could feel the distance between us every single day, and it did hurt, but we were still talking, but you could just feel that things were off, but like no one was talking about like the elephant in the room, but she was still around me all the time. And I just felt hurt because, like I mentioned earlier, like I stuck by her side when nobody else would. Like, I was literally the last person standing, and I'm just like, why doesn't she see that? Like, I am like giving my all. Like, this sounds like a relationship.
Yeah, because we are in one.
Yeah. She was the boyfriend, you were the girlfriend. We just talked about that.
But yeah, I just didn't understand. Like, she wasn't appreciating me, and I think we can both agree with that. She wasn't appreciating me, and I could feel that, and that was hurtful. And then on top of, it was just the buildup of all the hurt, and then she's just like, and now I'm not gonna talk to you, and I'm just like, what? I was literally like, Evie, what? It's me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was so shocking that I was like, oh, it's just gonna be a day that will pass, she'll be fine. And it turned into 4 years. So
just like that, honestly. Like, when she said, because I never counted, but Jackie is just that person that
Yep.
Every little detail, any fine detail. Oh, May 2nd of 2012. And I was just like, bitch, who the hell remembers that at 0.300 hours? And I'm like, what? Like, so yeah, she would like, oh man, it was just crazy. It was crazy. When she said 4 years, I said, 4 years? What are you talking about? And she's like, Evie, it's been 4 years. I was like, wow. Time just went like that.
It really, really did.
So Evie, I know that Jacky told me you moved to Florida, right? So was this before you moved to Florida, or was it like after you moved to Florida? Oh, okay.
This was before I moved to Florida.
Okay.
I just moved to Florida a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you guys were living in the same city and everything. And
when we stopped being friends, we were still neighbors. We were still living in the same complex. Yeah. Like,
wow.
She would be outside with her kids and I would just walk by and I look back at that time. Oh my God. I was just so mad. Like, and for what? Like, and that's what bothers me now, thinking about for what.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 4 years, man, 4 years down the freaking drain. But
yeah,
we reconnected
4 years
later.
You did.
2 kids later for me. So yeah.
When you used to walk by, like when me and my kids would be at the playground, they would see you and be like, Mom, isn't that Evie? Like they were so confused. And I had a lot of friendship breakups at that time. It wasn't just you. And they would just be like, yo, where's so-and-so? And where's so-and-so? And where's Mario? Like, what are you doing? Like, where are all these people? Like my kids like get attached to people just like I do. So they constantly ask, and they still remember Evie because she was always in my house, literally always in my house, eating my dinner.
Always eating grilled cheese.
Literally, she was always in my house. So my kids are just like, oh, where did she go? So that was sad too, especially when your kids gain attachments with people and then, the friendship has to end and I have to explain to them like, friends come and go. And so that's what happened.
And that was just so sad on my part too, because now that I have my own kids, seeing that, I would have been so hurt. Honestly, like I would have been so hurt. Mm-hmm. And then having to sit there and explain to her, like, that wasn't fair to her, having to explain to her kids because I was just, mad little mean person. Like, yeah.
I don't think that you realize like what that was like. Like, I feel like now that you have kids, you can relate to me a lot more. And I feel like it's like an act of the universe that you had 2 boys and I have 2 boys and I had 2 boys. I had 2 boys during our friendship and everything. And like, yes, Evie is very maternal. She has always been very maternal, but I knew that she wouldn't get me to the fullest extent until she had her own children. And actually, this is why our friendship got back together, because somebody messaged me from our job, Liberty, and told me she was pregnant. And I'm literally just like, okay, why are you telling me? Like, ain't none of my business. But then
no, honestly, like I'm even shocked that they told her that. Like,
wow,
their way to DM me and say Evie's pregnant, but I did. Like, I was shook. Like, I remember, like, we were so close and we talked about our dreams and our desires for life and everything. Like, I know everything that this girl wants for her life. So when I heard she was pregnant, it wasn't just like, oh, my old friend is pregnant. Like, I'm just like, I know what this means for her life. Someone special is in her life, someone serious, someone who's doing the right thing, and she's having a baby. Like, I knew that things were changing for her, and I literally just kept thinking about it every day. I'm like, Evie's pregnant. Like, I just have to reach out. So I reached out on Instagram, even though she broke up with me.
Remind the public.
I reached out to her and I just said to her that I was so happy. Like, I told her I wasn't looking for anything. Like, we don't have to be friends. Like, I just can't stop thinking about how you're pregnant. And I know that you've always wanted this for your life. And I'm so happy for you. And after that, we would message like randomly here and there. And then she requested.
I have to tell you, I was super happy when she messaged me, honestly, because while I was pregnant with my first son, I thought about her immediately. And I was just like, dang, what would Jacky do with certain things? Like, I'm like, I have nobody around me that's pregnant. I have nobody around me that's had kids. Like, I don't know who to go to for mother advice, except for my mom who had kids 20 something years ago. Like that's not going to be too helpful. So it like every time I had questions, I always thought about Jacky in the back of my mind. And then when I found out that I was pregnant again, unexpectedly with my second son, that's when I was like, what the hell? I'm a mom of two and they're both boys. I feel like Jacky. And I told my boyfriend that for some reason, I told him about her and I was just like, you know, my friend Jacky, like she has two sons too. And she used to live by me. And I always think about her. And this is why I don't even understand. Cause she would go to work at freaking 7 o'clock in the morning, she'd be there and she would have a full face of makeup on and she'd be dressed all cute. And I'd be like, how the frick did you do that? Like how and why? And she'd be like, I got up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and I had to get up and get dressed and be pretty. And I'm like, you're bugging. Like, I love my sleep too much. But now I get it. Now I get it. And I always used to think about that. So when she messaged me, I was just so deep down, I was so happy. I'm like, oh my God, I've been talking about her and thinking about her so much during my pregnancies. I'm so glad she reached out. So I figured that was like the perfect opportunity to get to know her a little bit more. Because of course, 4 years goes by. You don't know that person a lot. Right. You know them, but you don't know them anymore. You kind of lost that connection. So I wanted to get to know her a little bit more, see if she was willing to be my friend again. And here we are. Shut
up. Evie, so I got a deep question for you. Just a warning. I have a deep question for you. So my question for you is, I know you, as you said, that you initiated the breakup of the friendship. So like throughout the 4 years, I would say, was there ever a point in like during that time frame you're like, maybe I should reach out or maybe I should text or call or stuff like that? I guess the question is, do you think it was like maybe pride or do you feel like it was something else that just stopped you from doing it?
You pulled it out my mouth. Because I tell Jacky that all the time. I tell her that every time we have this conversation, it was pride. There was nothing else but pride, honestly. Because I could have reached out to her so many times. I've thought about her so many times throughout those 4 years, so many times, because she was my go-to. She was my best friend, literally my best friend. Like I have one other best friend that I've known since I was 4 years old, and she knows about her. But we don't stay in contact like that. Like we'll hit each other up every 7 months, maybe if that. Like we don't talk that much. But me and Jacky, we were literally attached by the hip. Like this girl went everywhere with me. I went to her house all the time. She came to my house. Like it was just a whole other level. So yeah, I thought about her so much, honestly, a lot. At first, no. At first I didn't because again, the pride ate my ass away. Like I was just like, hell no, stay away from her. No, like you don't want to be mad again. No. But then, as the years went by, I had so many instances and I would talk to my mom instead or talk to my cousin instead, but it's not the same when you don't have your best friend. It's not.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I feel like, but back to what I was saying about like you being a mom now, I feel like you can have more empathy for me at that time and like everything that I was going through. Not that you ever judged me, but I think like now you can be like, wow, like how in the heck, just like you said, how did she get ready for work? Like that divorce means more to you now. The way that relationship means more to you, and maybe like my relationship with your brother and how he did me dirty might mean more to you now, because I was always a mother of two boys throughout all of that. And since I think you were like separated me from that because it was just you and me, like not me and my kids. So maybe you just saw me as a person and not as a mother. But now that you're a mother, you're like, no, in every aspect of the word, like you are a mother. Every second of the day, you are a mother.
Every time I got dressed up while I was pregnant with Czar, I kept saying to myself, I'm like, this is what Jacky would be doing right now. I'm gonna get dressed and look cute because it don't matter if you're pregnant, you're gonna look cute.
Wow.
Jacky was able to do it, I'll do it.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
like she was a lot of my motivation, honestly, throughout my pregnancies and even after my kids, like getting up and doing your face. Yeah, you don't do it. You don't want to. Not when you have 2 kids. You don't have the time to. Like you literally don't have the time to freaking brush your teeth right with your kids up your butt. Like it is so hard, especially when you're a stay-at-home mom too. So yeah, she was a lot of my motivation and trying to stay decent.
Yes, especially when it comes to nurturing friendships. Like right now, I reach out to you more than you reach out to me, but back then it was always you. But now it's always me, and like I don't feel any like resentment towards that. If you stop texting me, I don't care, and like I told you to stop saying sorry to me. I literally do not care. I know what you're doing. Like trust me, I know what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I don't think anything of it. And even if you're not doing anything, like just having the energy to talk to someone, it's not that easy. So if you don't have the energy, I totally get it. Like I 100% know what you're doing. I know that your weekends are for your family. Like I totally get that. And I have no issue being the one like reaching out or being the one who does thoughtful things for you, because I have that time. My kids are older now, but I know what you're living through right now because I lived that already.
Yeah.
So Jackie, I got a question for you.
Yes.
So you, as you said, you were the person that initiated the initial reach out to Evie to rekindle, well, see how she was doing first, especially because she was pregnant, but rekindle the friendship. So my question to you was, were you nervous about doing that? Did it kind of scare you a little bit to do that after, like, since you guys?
I know she was.
I was, because I'm different now. Back then, I was a very desperate person. Like I was desperate for love. And I feel like Evie was like, she did willingly give me her friendship, but after things went bad for her, I felt like how all my relationship dynamics were at that time, which was me spreading myself thin and trying to prove myself that I'm worthy to love. Like I could see her like trying to be closer to people who she shouldn't be close to, and I was like trying to prove to her like, no, it's me, like I'm the good friend. Okay, she's not your best friend, she doesn't have any good intentions for you, it's me. Like I was trying to prove myself. I'm not like that anymore. Like I am worthy of friendship and I know what I have to offer. And so I'm different now. So if she didn't want me, then I wasn't going to feel unwanted for that, because I'm a genuine person and I already know that. That's not like back then where I was so insecure that I didn't know who I was. So in that sense, no, I was like, if she doesn't want me, then that's fine.
Well, I'm glad that it worked out.
Yeah.
I guess when I always got questions, I got plenty of questions, but the next to the last question I got is basically, I know that your friendship that you both had back then is not the same as the friendship you guys have now. Which one did you like better, and why? I guess for both.
What?
The one before, we used to have fun. No, see, the one before is just like, oh man, that one was so toxic, so wild. I think that one was just like one we had to live because we weren't ever gonna live that again.
Yeah.
So the one before was fun, yes, no, but this one is more mature. This one is definitely like a happier us. It's a healthier us. So I would never go with the first one. As fun as it was. No.
It's just like it's like having someone that you could talk about like all like the bad things you did. Like obviously we're being very vague about our past, and that's because we have to protect everyone.
I figured that out. I figured it was very vague. Yes.
Yeah, it's just for everyone's protection. But you know, those times were like wild and insane. What am I getting at? I don't know.
You're comparing the old relationship to the new relationship. Like,
yes, those times were like wild, but our friendship did start off very pure and innocent. Like I'm a very like innocent person. Like I'm very like naive and like just innocent and pure. Like I'm a baby. And so when I met Evie, she was the same. She was like a pure, innocent little girl. Like I was just like, my soul sister.
Right. No, seriously, she means that. And she is so accurate when she says that. Like we were both we were good girls.
Mhm.
And then when shit hit the fan, we were bad.
Yeah, we were bad. We were bad. And there was a lot of bad stuff, but I like that I have someone to be like, hey, remember when we were bad? But now
Good times.
good times, but now we're good. So
Yes.
good.
We came to our senses, so we're good now.
Yes.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So
yeah. So yeah, I guess we both like this version better.
Definitely.
I'm still like trying to schedule a FaceTime date with Evie, but I can't get her to do that. But again, I get it. So I'ma just wait. Like,
Listen,
whatever.
I'm even lucky I got on this call.
I know.
I don't know if you heard Czar already at the door crying.
I didn't.
oh, I didn't hear nobody.
I mean, like, they are attached and they don't even have no breast milk. Like, there is nothing for them to be attached of. Like, to whatever. They just love mommy because mommy's with them all the time. So he's been at that door crying like 5 times. I thought you guys heard him by now.
Oh no, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay, good.
But we do appreciate you taking time out to join us on the podcast, and hopefully you guys can schedule your Zoom date later on.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
But let me ask Evie a question. So, okay, let's see. Since we're being vague, all right. So you went through your dark time in life. And like, what would you say? How did you come out of it? Like, what did you learn? And like, kind of think of a woman that may have been going through something you were going through. Think of a woman who was like you at that time. What would you say to her that you know now?
Man, first thing is first. I will never do what, as mad as you are with how life has gone, I will never treat someone the way I was treated. Never in a million years, never treat someone the way I was treated. I don't care how mad, I don't care how hurt, I don't care who talks about it. I will never do what the person did to me. Never do that. And I won't drink my pain away. That was my biggest regret. I mean, I was like a straight up alcoholic for 3.5 years of my life after that. And everybody kept saying it and I didn't care. Couldn't nobody tell me anything. Like, honestly, I was living on my own. I didn't give 2 damns about what anybody's opinion was. I went rogue. Like, it was bad. Nobody paid my bills. Like, I didn't care what anybody had to say. I was drinking. I didn't care. I was drinking and doing other things and just, whatever to not find myself. Whatever I could do to not find myself and find my peace, I did it. So yeah, don't do that. Literally heal yourself, find your happiness, which is in you. It's not in anybody else. Find what makes you happy, do what makes you happy, and man, just live your life, because life goes by like that. 4 years went by like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. I think the biggest thing you said, well, you said a lot of great, beautiful stuff. But the one thing you said that really spoke to me was that you were trying to run away from yourself with the alcohol and things like that. And that's you're not the exception to the rule. A lot of people do that. Like whenever something happens to them or a situation that they don't want to deal with or memories that come up, they try to run away from them. Yeah. And
still, it'll be 10 years down the road. I still have issues with it.
Yeah.
I still have those thoughts running through my head. And I still have those voices of those tormenting freaking, oh, you're like belittling things said to me.
Yeah.
I still have that in my head sometimes that I still struggle with. So it's those moments where you start breaking down and you're feeling that stress again. Don't do what you used to do.
Yeah.
Don't run away from it. Face it, feel it, don't get stuck in it. Move on from it. Learn from it. Grow from it. You know?
Yeah, those are bars for life. I like those. That's amazing. And thank you for sharing that. I think that's the biggest thing because and Jacky, thank you for bringing that up. Like, you know, of course, as you know, this podcast is for we're trying to talk to people so they could possibly have a better life going forward, and that is definitely powerful for anybody that's currently watching and struggling with that. So,
I feel like now that you bring all of that up, I feel like this friendship taught me like unconditional love on many levels, because you think, or most people do stop loving you when you start to do things that doesn't fall in line with what they want you to do. Like me getting divorced, a lot of people stop loving me for that. And so whatever like your decisions were at that time, like none of that made me stop loving you. Like I was worried sick about you actually. And I was stressed. Like I was so stressed right there with you. Like I literally was stressing you all the time. And I feel like it just got to the point where it was so like toxic for me that it was better that, you know, sometimes you have to let people do the shit that they want to do, and you need to like not involve yourself, and when they're done they can come back to you. And I was starting to get to that point mentally. So I do feel like when you decided to end our friendship, it was a blessing for me, because I was so sick. Like I was so stressed all the time. Like I was just like, what's going to happen to her today? What is she going to do now? Like, and so it was better to let go and just let you go do the shit that you were going to do, because you were going to do what you wanted to do regardless. So
exactly.
I just was like, whenever she's done, I'll be here. Like whenever she's done down that path of self-destruction, I'll be here, and hopefully she makes it out of it. But I text you like a few weeks ago and said that to you, like thank God that he carried you through that and you're alive. Like wow.
Yeah,
like
literally.
Sometimes you think of things that you did and it's like, God, how did I come out alive? So I'm just
honestly
that he carried you and that you made it out of that.
Yeah, thank you, because I don't know how.
Yeah, me either. Grandma's prayers.
Yo, that things are real.
My grandma don't play. That's a prayer warrior right there.
Oh man, that's amazing. I had a thought, but I lost it.
Find it.
I mean, the fact that what Jacky said was very powerful as well, because the fact, you know, when you see someone going through a season, or they're going through some trials and the tribulations or whatever you want to name it, and all you want to do is help, but you know you can't help them at that moment. Like, what do you do in that situation? And I think what Jacky did was powerful, is that you still had the door open when Evie, you were going through that and you're able to come out of it. You still had the door open and say, hey, I'm not saying that I'm not your friend, but I can't be the same friend that I once was, because I see you're doing this. Yeah. And it's not going to help either of us if I'm so close to you and I still see you doing this, and it's kind of like I'm enabling you to do it. Instead of, you know what, I'm here for you. If you're ready to change, I'm ready to be there with you. But right now you have to go through this whole season by yourself. And I think that's very powerful, because when, of course, I'm a caregiver, I have a caregiver nature, I've had it for years, but I mean, I'm learning to change that now. But it's the fact that all you want to do is just, oh, I see somebody falling, I want to pick them up, or oh, I see somebody going down the wrong road, I want to direct them in the right direction. But sometimes they have to go through that path to come through a life that's much better than they had before. And I think that's basically what I'm seeing and I'm hearing from you guys, your journey, Evie, and then your journey also, Jacky. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's basically how I'm seeing it. So
pretty much.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think if you do have a friend that's like doing things that aren't serving her and you just want what's best for her, it does get hard, because it's like, I know with her personality type, if I say, listen here, you are fucking up, stop, I knew that she was gonna curse me out. Like I knew it. She was gonna drop me instantaneously. Like I knew I was on thin ice. And I would literally just listen to her talk about like the things she was doing. And I'm just dying inside because I want to say something. I want to help my friend, but I know that I can't because I know it's not going to be received well. And so fast forward to the day where our friendship ended, something slipped out. Like I didn't mean to be honest, but there's nothing wrong with being honest. I was just being honest with her about what she was telling me. And just my fears came true. She was like, I don't know who you think you are telling me whatever. Like, bye.
Yeah, sass ball came out quick.
I just was like, Evie, like it's me. Like, stop. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is
But
so.
you know what? But that's what everybody needs to understand. If you have an issue, like if your life is really going downhill and you have a great friend by your side telling you something, wake up. Wake up, open up, listen, and stop just trying to respond. Listen and take it in. Take it in and really take a look at yourself. Honestly. Yeah. Like don't push that person away because they are telling you for a reason because they're the ones on the outside looking in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see what you're doing because you're the one doing it. But they see it. Like they're looking at the bigger picture. You're in the picture. So you can't see everything. Yeah. They see the whole picture. You know?
Your friend is not your enemy. Like if you have a friend in your life who
your best friend.
Yes, your best friend especially is not your enemy. Like if you have someone in your, now I lost it. Come on.
I'm sorry. That was me.
If you have someone in your life who has ill will towards you, you have a gut feeling that they have ill will towards you. So if you're friends with someone for as long as we were friends and as close as we were, you know that there was no ill will. Like I supported the shit out of you and like I was a genuine friend. So if I'm saying something, like I'm not attacking you. I want what's best for you. Like I know you're a good person. Like, you know, there was a lot more that I should have said, but I said a little thing. Like it wasn't even everything that I should have said.
It was something so stupid and little that I was just like, think.
Yeah. So imagine
that was the last straw.
Everything. Like, imagine if I would have said everything. Like, I'm worried sick about you. Like, I can't do this. Like, you would have been like, girl, like.
But it was also, it was very little. It was just some other things that I kept running. Things were running in my mind. And I'm like, you're just acting like this bitch. And I was just so
assumptions. There was not communication.
Yes.
So
Oh man, that's powerful.
So
I guess the last question I have for both of you is that I mean both of you guys can answer in your own way, but what allowed your heart to be open to have the friendship again?
It's
like
Jacky.
Oh, okay.
It's Jacky. Like you can't not love Jacky. Like it's Jacky. I don't know. She's just this big butterball. Like I freaking love her. So it's Jacky. I will always have love for her. Yes. And she was like my mom. Literally, she was my mom in freaking Liberty Mutual. Like I hate that place. No, seriously, bad memories, but the entire time there, like she was my mom. She was always checking up on me, always messaging me. Like even during our work, she's just, hey, are you okay? Hey, did you eat? Hey, this, like that was mom. She's always been that just heartfelt person, so caring, so open. So I was always gonna have, once my pride would allow me, because I have to correct myself. Once my pride would allow me to let her back in, I was always going to have that same love for her, no matter what.
Oh, awesome.
A memory keeps coming up for me, so I want to bring it up. You, before our friendship was close, like this was probably one of the first steps of our friendship getting closer. So we started Liberty.
Look at her.
We started Liberty in like February and it was like April, and you were mentioning to me that like you were having some sort of like medical scare, and I went to Giant and I got like a heart box of chocolates, of your favorite chocolates. I want to say it was Ferrero Rocher. I don't know how to say that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I remember she had said she liked those. So I went and I got like this huge box, and like I went home and I wrote like a Bible quote about like being afraid, like uncertainty or whatever. I wrote it and I put it on her desk, and she like came over and was crying, and I was just like, "Are you crying?"
No,
Yeah.
but I want to.
She's like, "I cry all the time." I'm like, "Great." So
I do. I'm so fucking crying, baby.
so
Aw.
that was like the first thing that like got us closer to being friends. But yeah, after that, like when you struggled with money, like I brought you lunch all the time. But I wasn't doing that for any reason other than just like love fills me up. It makes me want to do things for people. Like I don't know, it just makes me happy. So it's not for any other reason. Like I'm not trying to prove myself or anything. I just feel like you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yeah. But that doesn't answer the question. What opened my heart up to friendship? So I really didn't want to be friends when I first reached out about the baby, because I was scared, because I felt like for so long she didn't appreciate me, and I was totally done with having friends that didn't appreciate me, because like I said, I realize what I bring to the table. And so I have to be very meticulous when I select friends, because I'm very special, so I need to select very special people that like understand special people, like you're special, I'm special, we both know. So
I hate her.
so I have to be very careful with that. And I didn't really know where she was. Like, of course I knew she was a mother now, so like she's probably better, but I just didn't know where she was in terms of like, if she was ready to have me as I am, overflowing with love, doing the most.
Look at her. Look at her. Humble down, boo-boo. Humble down. No, just kidding.
She's like, yeah, I'm the shit,
She did give me her number, but I never used it. I never texted her. But more recently, like I noticed that you took down your Instagram, and I feel like when people take down their Instagram, it means that they're like not okay. Like if I take down my Instagram, please call me. Like call me right away. But
thank you for the heads up.
Yeah,
honestly.
He took down her Instagram, and I was like, I feel like I need to reach out. So I asked your brother for your number, and I texted her, and I was like, hey, Evie, it's Jackie. Mario gave me your number. I hope that's okay.
Yes, stupid.
But I was just like, I noticed your Instagram was gone, and I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And then she was like, yeah, of course it's fine if you have my number. And like, actually, I'm in town. Like, I want to see you in 2 days from now. So
wow.
That's how we ended up hanging out again. And I was nervous to see her just because I didn't know what it was going to be like. I mean, 4 years is a long time. But when I got in your car, oh my God, it was so weird. Like the energy was so calm. Like it was insane. Like it was so calm. I had to calm myself down. Like I was just like,
like I just touched your third eye.
Yeah.
Zen.
Take it down. I was like, we are not being ratchet tonight. Got it.
and then I got us around the shot.
Oh God.
But yes, it was so crazy how you could feel her energy. And I was like, she is changed. Like, this is a different person. And I was just like, I don't even know how to talk to her. But when we sat down across from each other, it just took off like it always has. The only difference is there's no toxicity or ratchetness. Like we were able to have drinks and just not be ratchet. So yeah, that's pretty much just seeing her in person is when I was like, yes, this is the right decision for me. Like, yes, I can be in this friendship again.
Oh, that's amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
I guess the last question to end out the podcast is what advice would you give to people similar in your situation, as far as like I had a close friend back in the day and I really miss this person. How can I rekindle it, or even reach out to see if they still want to be friends? Like, what would you say is the best advice to that?
Put your pride down, apologize, reevaluate yourself, and accept the rejection at first. Because if you were not shit and you were rude, expect rejection.
Yeah.
But apologize, say your piece, be honest, with yourself and with them because they deserve that, and see where it goes. I mean, for some people, you can build it.
Mhm.
It's just, are you going to try?
Yeah.
You never know unless you try. And with me, I never would have known unless Jacky would have hit me up, or I would have put my pride aside. And honestly, even if Jacky were to never have hit me up that day, I was eventually going to message her.
Mm.
So it's all about like just being honest with yourself and just have, anybody can change.
Mm.
A lot of people really don't believe that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe that. And because this world is filled with so much hurt, so much anger,
Mm-hmm.
that no, like it's just bound for everybody to really not believe that. But you have to just put your pride aside, honestly.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So I guess if we want to speak from like an offender and victim perspective, from my perspective, I would say if you're thinking about accepting a friend into your life, you want to make sure that there's true remorse. And a big thing for me with Evie and with her brother is that there was true remorse. They both validated my feelings, and they both have changed so much. They're not the people that they were back then. And those are two important factors for me when allowing people back into my space of peace that I have created. So that was something that was important to me. Like, you have changed and you have true remorse, and you're validating me, and everything that you did to hurt me, you're validating it. And we're able to have open conversations about like where things went wrong and why everybody was hurt. And there is honesty about that. And there's open communication about like we're willing to give each other a second chance. And yeah, I think that's it. Just true remorse. True remorse is something important. When somebody hurts you, you need to make sure that they're truly sorry and that they've actually changed. Because if someone hasn't changed, things are going to be the same than they were before. And then you're just wasting your time.
I mean, there's nothing else to say after that. So
Right, mic drop.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
See,
you guys are best friends.
friends.
Duh,
Best
yeah,
friends.
best friends. See, there you go. Is there anything else that you guys want to say before we close this episode? And by the way, Evie, we definitely need you to come back again, because we definitely, I personally want to speak to you more about your healing journey and how did you transform from the Evie that we were talking about before to the Evie that you are now? I know there's more to it, but
that would be one hell of an episode. I'll tell you that much. You gonna need some drinks.
We're an open podcast, so we definitely fine with drinking a little something as we talk as well.
Yeah,
so.
I'll come back for another episode. It just has to be scheduled. I'm a mom with 2 kids.
Of course.
Be mindful.
Of course. But yeah, anything else you guys want us to talk about before we close?
Well, as always, thank you so much for your time. As I always say on our show, someone's time is the best gift that they can give to you, because no one owes you their time, and people have their own lives. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us. I loved this episode. It's probably like my favorite now. But yeah. Thank you so much. I hope everybody can see what an amazing person Evie is and why we're best friends, because obviously we're literally the same. So
thank you.
So yeah, thank you so much. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I mean, I just met you, Evie. I think you're a cool person, and I like your honesty. Your honesty is very,
you too.
Very cool.
You too.
I appreciate it. With that being said, thank you guys for watching and listening to the With Heart and Soul podcast. Of course, please subscribe to our YouTube, With Heart and Soul podcast. Like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episode. Also, any podcast station possible, we're on there. If we're not on there, let us know. Jacky's wonderful business, See Where We Land, seewhereweland.com. Go to their website. They refurbish thrift clothes, and they make them look amazing. Go on there to order something. As for me, I'm a relationship coach, Collab Coaching, COLAB Coaching, Facebook Collab Coaching, Instagram Collab Coaching. On my videos and series are on YouTube. Just type in Collab Coaching, you'll find me. But and our Instagram with Heart and Soul Podcast as well. Like and subscribe. Tell us what you think about this episode. It's going to drop this Thursday coming up, and let us know what you think. Of course, you'll be seeing a lot of Evie coming up in the future. Yes. Jacky's personal Instagram is Love, Peace, and Kindness. Follow her, like her pictures. Funny enough, as he said that, checking on people, I checked on Jacky this week. I was like, what happened to your morning workout pictures? And then she told me why, and I was like, okay, good, making sure everything's okay with her. So and Evie, I don't know if you want to share your Instagram and stuff.
My Instagram is eatpraylove.b. So my nickname is B, like Bumblebee, B-E-E. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can follow me, eatpraylove.b.
Awesome.
On Instagram.
Awesome. And also we're on SoundCloud as well. If you're into SoundCloud, we're on SoundCloud. And I think that's pretty much it. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening, watching, and until next week, have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.